Hey friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. I am Jenny and today we have got a very fun project. We are going to be planting 2 hay racks in our fantastic shade garden. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back. It is Jenny. We are so excited to be back in our shade garden here right outside of our kitchen. We did a video about 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. I don't know when it was, a little earlier. And one of you fabulous viewers had this great idea. You said, Jenny, why don't you put some window boxes underneath your windows? And I loved that idea. So here we go. I have got 2 gorgeous window boxes, hay racks, whatever you want to call them, from the Kinsman Garden Company. This one is massive because remember, this is right outside of our kitchen. This is our kitchen table right here. This is a big window. It's kind of that bay type window. This hay rack is 55 inches long. So it is quite the beast. You should have seen us trying to put it up. But what we're going to do is we're going to plant it up with some shade-loving annuals. So Jerry and I have already wrestled this thing on here so it's nice and secure. We've got it filled up with just some great potting soil, and of course you know that I'm going to go ahead and add my slow release fertilizer in there. You know, I am a big fan of the Proven Winners slow release fertilizer, and in fact all the plants that we're going to be using today are Proven Winners annuals. So this is going to be a little tricky. This is going to be like some gardening yoga as I try to plant this beauty without crushing any of my plants that are in here. So we're just going to do some garden yoga and come in here. So if you remember, underneath here I've got the bleeding hearts. I've got these massive, gorgeous lady in red ferns. They are perennials. Right underneath my foot is the zebra hydrangea. And I'm just taking my slow release fertilizer and sprinkling it in here. This holds a good bit of soil. It also has a good bit of plants that are gonna go in here. And this soil had no slow release fertilizer in it. So there was none in here, so we are going to generously add it in there. Now you can see we're gonna do a little tosseroo here. There we go. So give it a little zhuzh, get your slow release in there. I have already got 3 gorgeous Proven Winners caladiums. Now this particular one is the Tickle Me Pink. And what's so great about this caladium is it's sun or shade, so it's very versatile. This spot will get a few hours of direct morning sun, so I love that these caladiums are going to give me some height, some color, and some texture. We grew these at the nursery. Caladiums like it really hot, so it took a while to get them to come out and get growing. So we're going to just kind of take these guys, nestle them down here. I'm putting 1 on each end and then 1 in the center. They are still developing and growing, so they will get to be about 12 to 18 inches tall. They are just a gorgeous pink center with that green edging with a little bit of white fleck in them. This one's a beast. A beautiful beast. Look at that. Right in the center. You know how I am. I like to make sure that center of the window. Here we go. She's in. Nestle her in there. And then we have one last one for the ends. So I'm so excited about these baskets, these hay racks. I've never had window boxes before. So this is a new venture for me, but they're going to be gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. All right, so caladiums are in. Now, I have found that there's like two types of gardeners. Those of you that we call Disney-worthy gardeners, that you like to have it Disney perfect right when you plant it. And that's great. And there's also gardeners that like to watch it grow and develop. I tend to be the one that likes to watch it grow and develop. So we're going to tiptoe back through here. And I'm going to try to plant from the side. So some of these plants are small, and that's okay. I don't mind that. We're going to watch them grow and develop as the season goes on. So first I'm going to try to plant this in the way that makes the most sense. This is the Proven Winners Acapulco Coral Reef. Now, if you remember from the video that we did on this shade bed earlier, I did have the coral, the Acapulcos, but it was the rose, not the coral reef. So coral reef is so similar in color. It's just a little bit of a hotter pink, a richer, deeper pink. I didn't use rose because we ran out of rose. We sold out of rose. All of our sweet customers love rose as much as I do. So, you know what? We're just going to go with what the nursery has. It's a part of gardening. You just got to be flexible. Next, we have the, have this in the bed. This is the Proven Winners Broalia. This is the Endless Flirtation. I always get Flirtation and Illumination, but this is Flirtation. So this brings a nice little pop of white in. Now the impatiens right now, they look small because I've actually cut them back. They were getting really big, a little tall, a little leggy for me, so I pinched them back. They will by far be up and nice and tall. They'll actually be taller than the Broalia. But for right now, like I said, I don't mind at all watching this fill in. Now, for some fun repetition again, so we had the Flirtation. This is the Illumination, is that great blue purple color. Again, I have it in the bed. I wanted to bring it back up, repeat it up here to bring some consistency in the bed. So we're gonna stuff those down. These will get nice and bushy. And this whole window box is gonna be one mass of blooms. It's gonna be gorgeous. So we're stuffing 2 in here. So I can't wait to come back and show you in a couple of weeks or month throughout the whole season how this is developing. So just make sure that, of course, when you're planting, that all of your roots covered with soil, because you don't want any exposure. Remember, the more soil you can have in your container, the better. Now, black sweet potato vine. This is the Sweetheart Jet Black. This is really fun because it has a great heart-shaped leaf to it. I'm gonna make some room, and I'm gonna stick a black sweet potato vine in front of every caladium. And we're squeezing them in here. Oh, there's a breeze. That feels good. It's a little toasty today. It's been raining for the last 2 weeks, and we're finally getting some sun, which is fantastic. But, you know, end of May in North Carolina, it's the last day of May in North Carolina, means a lot of humidity. So, we've got half of it planted, so now I'm gonna shuffle on down, and we're gonna plant the other half. All right, we're not tiptoeing through the tulips, but we're tiptoeing through the bleeding hearts and the ferns. Woo, lousy. We'll make it work. Note to self, plant this next year before everything grows and develops. Oh, it's all right. Okay, so that guy's gonna go there. Here. We're doing the plant shuffle. All right, fantastic. Got our spots. Put those 2 guys down there. So we're gonna go ahead and start from the center and work our way out. So we've got another sweet potato vine. And I really like the idea of doing this sweet potato vine. I wanted to do the sweet potato vine. Obviously it's dark. And remember, I told you right below this is the zebra hydrangea. It's called a zebra hydrangea because it has black stems, but it has a classic white mop head bloom. Hence, it is zebra. So I wanted to echo that dark color up here in the window box. Get our coral reef in here. Again, right now she's one of the smallest plants because she got pinched back, but she's going to end up being one of the biggest ones. So it's going to be really fun to watch her grow and develop and get nice and big. All right, we're going to go this way. Flirtation's in there. We'll go ahead and plant the other sweet potato vine right here. And you notice we have a hummingbird feeder right above this. So when we were getting ready, our Megan was like, oh my goodness, the hummingbirds are gonna love us even more because there's gonna be all sorts of beautiful flowers right here. And in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get a drive-by, a flyby, because we are right in the middle of their feeding zone. And if you know hummingbirds, they get a little territorial with their food. So there we go. All we've got left is the illumination. There we go. All right, now, you know what I always tell you when we do a container, especially here in the South, because it just gets so hot and things dry out really quickly. We're gonna put some mulch in between the plants in this hay rack. This is underneath the eave of the roof. The irrigation will not spray up here, so I am gonna have to hand water this year. So maybe later on, maybe next spring, Jerry can rig up an irrigation system for me. But for right now, I will have to hand water this, so I want water to be retained as much as possible. So by doing the mulch, that really does help retain moisture in the box, and it cools the roots, makes everybody happy, makes it look pretty. Because remember, we're not only going to see this from the front when we drive up, but because this is where our kitchen table is, we will be looking at it from this way too. So we're just going to come in here, add the mulch, and then we can give them a nice good drink of water. Make sure everybody's snuggled down into their new home, and then move on to the next one. All right, this one is done. We'll give her a little drink of water, and then we'll move on to the next one. All right, so now we are going to put this massive, gorgeous beauty right underneath the sink window at the kitchen. Now, you can tell that this is a little bit of a different shape. This is their 30-inch round hay rack, and it is, y'all, look how big this is. It holds a massive amount of dirt. It is 15 inches wide and it's 15 inches deep. So it's a little top heavy up front. So what I'm gonna do is just move my mulch buckets right here, so that way it'll prop it up while I plant. So once again, we're gonna come back because there's no fertilizer in here, and we want our plants to have lots of good yummy food. One more should do us. This slow release fertilizer is fantastic. It gives a great start to your plants. The thing is, like, we just got here in the last couple of weeks, gosh, the last 2 weeks, massive amounts of rain. It just rained solid for 2 weeks. So when you have containers like this and you've got that slow release in there and you've had tons of rain, like we probably had over close to 10 inches of rain in the last 2 weeks. Once the rain stops, you want to really come back with your water-soluble fertilizer and give your plants a good drink of good food, because all that slow release could have been already leached out. So you want to start fertilizing again on a regular basis. So this is going to be fun. Going to be going off on a little, the last one I had pretty planned. This one is somewhat planned. So we're just going to have a little design fun here. Again, we're going to repeat all of the same plants again, except for one. So we're going to put our coral reef double impatiens right in the center. Now, I'm actually going to put 2 in here. There's 2, but I'm going to plant them as 1. In fact, Jerry was sitting there looking at me, telling me to slide it over. It wasn't in the center, but he doesn't know what I'm doing. So there's 2 plants. We're going to plant them as 1. Now, after I plant this and it looks like 1 plant and it's not in the center, then he can tell me to move it. Is it good? Oh, he gave me the thumbs up. So excellent. So remember, these guys, see, heavy. These guys are going to be some of your biggest ones, big and mounding and just gorgeous. So this is the centerpiece, and then on each side we're going to flank them again with the Tickle Me Pink caladiums. I don't know if you can see, there are tons of little baby shoots in this caladium. So this is not even close to being full yet. I mean, there's a lot of new growth in there. All right, hopefully nothing's going to collapse on me as I'm moving dirt around. This is a little bit of a precarious situation, but we'll make it work, right? It's not gardening until you spill some dirt, right? So 1, 2, 3, boop, there we go. Gardening on video is always so much more fun too. This is not working. It's all right. Oh, here we go. All right, I got a little hole back here, filling with some of this good dirt. All right, 1 more caladium to go. And this is probably the smallest caladium as far as the height, but again, tons of new growth is coming up. So we're going to stick this one on the other corner. Zhuzhing my dirt out of the way. All right, here we go. Now this particular window box is going to get a little bit more sun than the one that's in front of the kitchen table. So I have chosen a different white to go in here other than the flirtation. So we're going to go, this is going to be a little bit of an experiment, as if this whole thing's not an experiment already. We're going to go in with, let me find it, here it is. The Proven Winners Whiteout Verbena. Superbena Whiteout. Now, Superbena Whiteout is one of the most vigorous verbenas that they have, but they make these massive, like snowball, pure white blooms on them. Absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to stick that one right in the very center in the front so that it can spill over and bring me a lot of good white. Then in the back, I'm going to go ahead and pop these in. Wasn't sure if I was going to, but I think I am. So this is, again, the Flirtation, nope, wrong one, not Flirtation, Illumination Roalia. Stick that guy in there. We've got another one. So that way, both of these planters mimic each other, they coordinate, but they're not twins. It's like somebody said one time, they're sisters, not twins. So I like that idea. All right, so we've got that. Go ahead and plant the verbena. This sucker was blooming like crazy, and you can tell that the roots on this, and I know a lot of you have asked me in the past, Jenny, I noticed you're not breaking up your root balls. Most of the time I don't, because they just don't need it. They're not really root bound. Now this verbena it's probably gonna be a little bit of a different story. So you can see the root system on this guy. So what I'm gonna do is just with my thumbs, just break it up. This is not like a massive grass that has a crazy root system. You're just gonna go in here and break it up with your fingers. Find the right side that's best gonna trail over, which is gonna be right here. Tilt it a little bit so that the plant wants to naturally spill out. There we go. And then the last two elements again are our Sweetheart Jet Black sweet potato vines. Now, just because of the shape of this container and the fact that I have to use the buckets to hold it in there, it's gonna be a little tricky to see this right now. But you know what, just hold your horses. I'll show it to you in just a minute. Last plant of the day. Even that sweet potato vine is not, I don't need to break that up. It's perfectly fine. These plants are gonna go and send out their roots to find all the food and the water. There's no need for me to go in there and break it all up. All right. I know you're all thinking, Jenny, good night, woman. Yeah, well, I'm saying the same thing. It's all right. Get everybody in there nice and happy. All right. Last thing I'm going to try to do is hold this bad boy up, and I'm going to try to carefully put some mulch in it. Because again, I need mulch to hold, retain my water. So there we go. And with gardening like this is brand new for us. Now, we've never done window boxes before. And we talk with people, customers all the time at the nursery, and they're like, well, I've always done this, or I've always done that. You know, not sure I want to try something new. Yes, you do. I mean, that's life, right? We always want to try something new because the new thing may be better than the old thing we're doing. So open yourself up to some possibilities. And you know what? Some of these plants may not do real well right here, and that's okay. If anybody ever tells you in gardening that they have success 100% of the time and they get it right the first time, every time, they're not telling you the truth. Gardening is about learning from your mistakes, figuring out what works, and the only way you're going to figure out what works is to try new things and trial and error. So be open, do your research. Professor Google is quite smart. Ask neighbors, ask gardeners, ask for help. Figure it out, right? All right, I think this is done. So this is gonna be really fun because Jerry and I together are gonna have to heft this thing up on the window. And of course, it's not a low window like the last one. Oh no, it's up there. So we will get this bad boy hung and you can enjoy that show while it happens. Hang on. I gotta move my hand. All right. I'm on. It stayed. There we go. Okay, both of these hay racks are planted and they are fantastic. They're gonna fill in, be beautiful, have gorgeous color that will do both well with some morning sun and then afternoon shade. This is going to give us months of enjoyment. The hummingbirds have already been buzzing by and are so excited about these new flowers. So we just cannot wait to watch them fill in and grow and develop. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you like this video, and if you're not already a subscriber to Gardening with Creekside, please make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you can stay tuned for all the upcoming events and videos that we will be putting out. Hope y'all have a great day, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye.